Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome you all to the 16th International Conference on Cutting Edge Solution in Science, Agriculture, Technology, Engineering, and Humanities. This is me, Abdul Awal Chowdhury Masud, PhD scholar in Department of Agriculture and Environmental Science here in University of Milan. The title for this poster session in this virtual mode is Projected Changes in Climate Variables and Trends in Wetland Ecosystem of Northeastern Bangladesh. The wetland ecosystem of northeastern Bangladesh encompasses the vast Haor Basin area, which seasonally get floodplain and experience a significant shift in climatic patterns. It includes changes in temperature, precipitation, and the frequency of extreme weather events in recent decades. The studies has indicated that due to this warming trend in this region, with average temperature rising by 0.5 degrees Celsius over the last century, and it is projected that temperature will be rise by 5 degrees Celsius by the end of this century. This rise in temperature is expected to alter the hydrological cycles that will govern the wetland ecosystem, and it will potentially lead to more intense and prolonged dry seasons, which will ultimately reduce the water availability and changes in the timing and magnitude of the flooding event. So to understand these projected changes in climatic variables and their potential impact on wetland ecosystem is a crucial to understand the climatic trends to inform the policy and guide sustainable management practices in this region. The main objectives of this study was to assess the climatic trends by analyzing the historical and projected changes in key climatic variables such as temperature, precipitation, and extreme weather events in the northeastern Bangladesh, and specifically the Sylhet region of the country. Subsequently, we have conducted a vulnerability assessment by the Climate Vulnerability Assessment Metric tools, which will help to analyze the impact of changes in climate variables on the ecosystem, agriculture system, and human well-being. Materials and methods. The materials and methods is mainly the projection was conducted by the World Bank's Climate Knowledge Portal by using the SSP1 2.6 and multimodal ensembled data from CMI P6. So under this socioeconomic pathways 2.6, it is a way that project the climate modeling scenario that will combine a sustainability focused pathway with a radiative forcing level of 2.6 by the end of this century. And by the SSP1 2.6 scenario, it will lower the global warming and it will lead to lessen the severe impact of northeastern Bangladesh wetland ecosystem compared to a higher emission scenario. So the result is mainly we have conducted with 10 variables from this model, such as average surface air temperature, precipitation, maximum daily temperature, minimum daily temperature, number of hot days, number of summer days, temperature more than 25 degrees Celsius, and the annual drought index, and also the precipitation percentage changes. So the data is evident that from this projection, we have seen the speculation that it is very evident that although we have considered this SSP1 2.6, that is a global temperature stays between 2 degrees Celsius relative to the 1850 to 19, and but that in the Sylhet region, the variable shows that by the end of this century, average surface temperature will rise by 1.13 degrees Celsius. On the other hand, the mean temperature will increase by 1.1 degrees Celsius. For that consequences, ecosystem and agricultural system is going to face a lot of stress in the consequent coming decades. At the same time, as we know that in the Sylhet region, the precipitation is very high, but the projection says that by the end of this century, the precipitation will be higher 4.89%, which is 227, and that is higher than the current situation compared to the 1995-2014 situation. This will increase the drought risk in the dry season and lead to more frequent floods during the rainy season. and it will harm the regional biodiversity and ecosystem. So the overall climatic projection is clear that the Sylhet region of the country will be more drought prone in the summer or dry season, and the country and in the rainy season it will be experiencing a torrential rainfall, and therefore a massive flood, flash flood will be more common incident in the region of this country. This overall projection will put a phenomenal negative consequence in the overall biodiversity of combining the ecosystem and agricultural system of this area. Later on, we have conducted a vulnerability assessment matrix from with the people from 5 villages in the Sylhet region through the focus group discussions, 30 members in each session in the Goripur, Hodorpur, Shahpur, Shekharpara, and Tekergaon villages of the district. And we have analyzed that in the vulnerability assessment matrix in different scenario of the Sylhet region, like the tea estate, basin, wetland, agricultural land, Sylhet city, tourist attraction, and hill forest area. There are so many types of hazards they have faced, and there are different extent of exposure they have faced. So comparing that, people have identified that the vulnerability of this area is mainly the flood and the floods and the high temperature and rainfall are the main sort of problem that will be occur in recent future. In the current scenario, we can also see that the frequent types of flash flood and frequent events of torrential rainfall is occurring in recent days, like from the recent picture in last month. So considering all this phenomenon, we have come to a conclusion that this vulnerability assessment matrix and the climatic data and the projection of the climatic data has shown us that in the near future, if the temperature rises by 1.1 degrees Celsius, it will be devastating for the biodiversity loss, and it will increase the temperature, and changing the precipitation pattern can disrupt the habitat of various species, leading to shift of biodiversity. It will increase the event of floods, increase precipitation, and lead to more frequent and severe flooding, especially in lowland and higher areas. The crop yield reduction will be a more phenomenon, and this will change the precipitation, while the stress of crop reduce the soil moisture and in particular the tea garden area of the Sylhet region. And ultimately, it will be a health hazard problem due to the increased temperature and rainfall, and the event of frequent floods. Different types of waterborne disease will be will be more frequent in near future. So I would like to acknowledge the NAFIC for the funding for this assessment of this program, and also the Wageningen University and the Innovative Environmental Development Corporation of Senegal for conducting this sorts of activities and conducting this experiment. So thank you all.